Hello and welcome to MyDIGITAL.KKMM, the technology edition with me, Terrence Das. Now I know you're surprised to see me hosting the technology edition because I'm a pretty low-tech guy. That's right, it takes very low tech to maintain all of this. And for those of you watching, you're probably also familiar with the word cloud. Now, I remember the first time I heard the word cloud, I was 3. Today, that word takes on a whole new meaning and it needs a lot more explanation. Cloud and data intelligence plays a vital role when it comes to securing an organization's future in the light of possible threats such as COVID-19 or any other sort of unexpected changes. I know, it's difficult to associate the cloud, the beautiful white thing in the sky, with all this information. But it's true, because the cloud and its brand new meaning is data storage and how it drives businesses forward. So stay tuned with us, because right after this, we have experts from TM1 to share with you about how TM1 is driving business transformation. For your information, guys, MyDIGITAL.KKMM is an initiative under the Ministry of Multimedia Communications Malaysia, and we'll be focusing on many initiatives in the areas of technology, tourism, creative industries, entrepreneurship, entertainment, sports, health, and lifestyle. Learn more about MyDIGITAL.KKMM.my by checking out our website or following us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Let's get right into our topic today. Now, as mentioned, we're talking about the cloud and data intelligence, how these concepts play a vital role when it comes to securing your organization's future in the light of possible threats such as COVID-19 or any other unexpected changes. Cloud computing is widely known for its capability to enable organizations to rapidly innovate. So you can be small, but you can be agile, and you can be scalable at the flick of a button. Well, thanks to its flexibility, scalability, and also its cost efficiency, data intelligence allows organizations to now make insights and take a deeper dive into your own business to help you maneuver and make better decisions in order to achieve an advantage over your competitors, despite your smaller size. So when combined together, it's a powerful force for any organization to use. If you're private or public, it doesn't matter. The leverage on this technology in real time delivers cost-effective and efficient services. What am I talking about? To help you understand all that mumbo-jumbo, we have an expert from TM1. And we're going to be taking you through this conversation where we focus on the enterprise and the public sector business arm of Telecom Malaysia. They will be sharing with you TM1's roles and initiatives in accelerating any organization's digital transformation by using these very technologies. That's cloud and, of course, data intelligence. So joining me today, we have Ms. Shazurawati Abdul Karim, who's the Executive Vice President of TM1, and she'll be known hereforth as Shaz. Welcome.
Hi, Terrence. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. You're going to help us understand some pretty big topics because, you know, the cloud and data intelligence, they're simple words, but they really mean a lot more than meets the eye. So in a nutshell, let's start off by asking you why you think organizations need to transform digitally.
Really, Terrence, I think the primary objectives of any organization is really twofold, right? One, to provide that ultimate customer and user experience, and two, really to improve the financial performance and operational performance. So what does this mean, right? So we also know that all organizations are digital leaders, have faster speed to market, they can scale up better, they can adapt better, they can respond better. So really, organizations' business resiliencies require digital transformation. It's absolutely inevitable. In fact, organizations should really consider shifting their digital transformation from defense to offense, right? I think that is something that everybody should think about. Really, when we talk about digital transformation, it's not just about transformation. You want to have an impactful innovation. You want to have a sustainable transformation. You want to have business hyper-automation. And how can you do this? To do that, that's where you need to leverage on business data intelligence and the cloud. Without which, I think all of this transformation would be quite challenging.
Okay, tak kisah besar mana sekalipun perniagaan anda dan sekecil mana pun perniagaan anda, ketika pandemik dulu kita semua terkesan. So, the next question would be, why is cloud and data intelligence this major driver for the transformation, and how can it insulate businesses from what we just experienced?
You know, pelanggan sekarang bukan macam dulu. For us to have impactful transformation, we must have customers and users in our mind, right? So it's all about giving them really smarter experience, faster services, personalized services. So to do that, we need data intelligence. And to have data intelligence, we deploy this in our business applications, right? So with this, kita boleh analyze sebanyak sangat data, ya, structured data, unstructured data. We need to be able to mine so that we can make insightful business decision and automated actions, right? And bila ada banyak data, you need a lot of cloud storage and computing and capability. Hence, that comes the cloud, right? And in TM1, we have a hyperscaled intelligent cloud solution that is hosted in our Tier 3 data centers. So what does that mean? Meaning that kan semua data yang di cloud kita ni akan sentiasa berada di Malaysia. Tak keluar negara, selamat di Malaysia. And our Cloud Alpha Edge also ada what we call artificial intelligence capabilities, again to help out with all of these analysis that we talk about, right? So all our digital services di TM1, kita juga bolster it with what we call TM1 Cyber Defense Center or CyDEC, right? So what we can do is we could detect, respond, prevent, predict cyber attacks, which is very important bila kita start guna banyak digital services and data mining. Security must be on top of our mind, right? As a rapper, nak buat ni bukan senang, ya. Jadi di TM1 kita ada ramai professionals yang certified in data science to help you mine all this data and analyze all this data in your transformation journey. To make sure that transformation is aligned to business objective. It's not just about doing transformation, it's to make sure that it gets to where we want to be. Yeah?
So all this data is your own data, right?
No, so we talk about organization data that we could help them make meaningful. It's the power of knowing, right? So when you have lots of data, sometimes tu kita tak nampak kesemuanya. We need automation and intelligence to make sense of the different data points. Dengan itu yang kita kata, kita boleh really harness the power of IoT, 4.0, big data, and we can't do that with just human capacity. We do need the power of technology and cloud computing to help us generate all of these new actions that we never thought about before.
All right. So then we focus on TM1. How has TM1 played a role in accelerating and sustaining digital transformation for enterprises and also for the public sector?
Okay, TM1, we always see ourselves, we are very proud of ourselves as the prime enabler of digital Malaysia. We serve thousands of organizations across many different verticals. It could be education, healthcare, logistics, retail, public sector. So we serve really all economic sectors, all critical services, across the nation and outside of Malaysia, right? So successful digital transformation really require what we call infrastructure yang robust, and secured. It must be fully connected in terms of connectivity and secure when it comes to digital infrastructure. TM1, kita have made all of these investments so that organizations could just use what they need. So that provides operational efficiencies or easiness. Jadi tak risau ya, organisasi tak perlu fikir, oh, I have to do this investment, that investment. But they can only just think about the outcome that they want and work with us and leverage on what we have to serve what they need. Jadi kita punya, we are the only multi-cloud service provider that's appointed by the government of Malaysia in line with MyDIGITAL initiative. Again, to support the country towards a advanced technology country.
So it's a pay-per-use model, I believe, so you can pay as and when you need it. And if you're small, you pay maybe less, and if you grow, then your infrastructure is able to support
You've got it right,
that.
absolutely right, Terence, exactly that, right? So the cloud allows you to really scale up on demand and scale down as you don't need to.
Right.
So you really just pay for what you need as and when you want to. So again, that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
The best part is you don't need to go build your own data center.
Yeah, and we bring with you world-class partners as well.
Right.
So we understand organizations, enterprises have different needs and different landscape of system and applications within them. So we want to make sure that their transformation is a success. So we understand that, and we have a fleet of ecosystem partners, world-class partners who work with us to make sure our customers or enterprises are successful. So their success is our success.
All right, finally a big question. How will these technologies and initiatives from TM1, as we discussed earlier, impact the nation or the population at large? Big question for 33 million Malaysians.
Yeah. So TM1, Telekom Malaysia, kita memang sangat mengambil peranan. We are taking a leading role dalam MyDIGITAL dan Jendela punya program, ya. In fact, we memang support lah government punya aspiration to enable progress for our Malaysian. We truly believe in that. That's our call. Yeah. With our digital punya connectivity and infrastructure, Terence, what we've also done, we've developed an end-to-end what we call smart services portfolio. Apa ni smart services ni kan? Nanti saya cerita dengan you, ya. Smart services penting. Kita serve not just enterprises, not just the government, but paling penting the society. Right? So in the end, it's the people. The people like us who use all of these services that matters. So our smart services ni, can span across, for example, smart public safety management, smart agriculture, right? Smart cities. So we talk about even smart manufacturing, operational effectiveness. So a lot of that, can only be done because we have that digital infrastructure and digital connectivity, without which all of this is not possible. So what we have done, or we have as well, kita kata open API platform, and with DevKit as well. Jadi ramai partner, startups, customers can come on board our digital ecosystem and co-create the solution that befits the purpose of their needs. So it is this digital coalition yang kita kata ni will enrich and progress the nation together, right? Fit for purpose. Yeah.
This is an add-on to, of course, the initiatives by the government. They've made available, readable data to the public to collaborate as well. So I think it's great that we're seeing this public-private partnership moving forward into this brave new era. So thank you very much, Shaz, for coming on board and enlightening us on some of TM1's roles and initiatives in enabling business transformation, supporting aspiration of digital Malaysia. Now, from that brief introduction, well, not so brief, but brief enough, on the cloud, it is evident that moving forward with the cloud is the way to go. I mean, there's no way around it. It's international. Everybody around the world is already on the cloud. So moving forward, we have another expert from TM1 who'll be talking about breaking barriers with the cloud. We're going to find out about the latest updates on that, but if you want to know more about MyDIGITAL.KKMM.my, check out our website, and also feel free to browse around and take a look at our virtual booths. We've got many exciting activities not to be missed out. And if you're on social media, which I know you are, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We are ready to serve the nation and all Malaysians with better services, high-speed connectivity, and a secure digital ecosystem for a truly digital Malaysia. As our world transforms rapidly and is ready to embrace the digital future, where our achievements today will be greatly surpassed tomorrow, where businesses move, work and trade at speeds like never before. As we securely connect citizens, businesses and government with each other and to the world. As the cloud and cybersecurity services provider for the Government of Malaysia, complete with our comprehensive suite of connectivity, digital infrastructure and solutions, we are ever ready to deliver and serve, secure and protect, together with the vision of our government to take transformation forward and accelerate MyDigital's aspirations for a better Malaysia.
Welcome back to MyDIGITAL.KKMM. I'm still Terence Das. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Now, previously we had a very fruitful discussion focusing about driving business transformation with TM1. And we were joined by Ms. Hazrawati Abdul Karim, who's the Executive Vice President of TM1 on that subject. However, when the cloud offers huge opportunities, there are still some barriers stopping businesses from taking their technology online or making that leap to the cloud. So here to shed some light on how businesses can break barriers with the cloud and how TM1, through their cloud services, can help navigate the cloud adoption journey for just about any type of business. Let's welcome Mr. Muhammad Rajab Sulaiman, Head of Product and Innovation at TM1.
Hi everyone, I'm Rajab Sulaiman. I'm the Head of DC Cloud and Internet of TM1. Before I begin my talk today about the breaking barriers with cloud, I'd like to start with a quote, and a quote from Henry Ford. Obstacles are those frightful things that you see when you take your eyes off your goals. So think about this, when we think about the cloud, there are so many great things that you can achieve through cloud. You can achieve agility, you can achieve cost saving, you can achieve flexibility, innovation, and you can gain at a competitive edge. But if you put your fear in achieving this goal, you're not gonna be able to achieve this. What are those fears? And this fear is common. A lot of enterprises are having the same fear. For example, first one, unclear migration path. You're not sure which path that you want to take to go to the cloud. There's so many ways how to go to the cloud. You hear about cloud repatriation. You know there are not many cloud providers out there. You're afraid that you could be locked in to certain provider. You're also potentially not clear how much it's going to cost me. I've already invested in the legacy infrastructure. How do I go to the cloud? What about data residency? I need to be in country. The regulation says so. I want to go to the cloud, but I have these issues. And we also have issues, enterprises also have issues of, they're not sure because the resources that they have today are not certified resources to go to the cloud. So all these fears, all these barriers will hinder any organization to move to cloud and achieve greater things. So I'm not going to touch all the fears, but I'm going to touch two key barriers to adopt the cloud. So if you want to go to cloud, there are many migration paths that you could be taking. But before you do that, there must be a proper migration assessment or proper what do you have today. First, you need to know what do you have today. You have current IT environment that you have the asset today. You have the performance of your IT today. You have the certain architect that you have today. All these you put together, you assess back, and then put together a business case, the TCO analysis, aligning back to your business goal, what do you want to achieve in the longer term? What we call today as future enterprise or digital transformation. And you must know as well what are the risks associated with this movement to the cloud. And when you have done all this analysis, when you have done all this assessment, then there could be 7R, that we call it 7R. You could choose one of these. It's not necessarily you need to move everything to the cloud. It's not the case. Because there could be certain workload that you just have to maintain on the premise. Secondly, there are certain workload that you just need to relocate and rehost to the cloud. That isn't much of an effort to move them to the cloud. But the hardest thing would be that you require certain study, you require certain recoding to change your application and move to the cloud. So these are the things that you need to consider before you move to the cloud. It's not that everything that you need to move to the cloud. The second fear that I want to highlight today would be the cloud repatriation issues that we often nowadays listen or hear about this. For those who have not adopted to the cloud, this becoming a fear or a statement that they wonder why is this happening, and so they put off the plan to move to the cloud. So what's the reason that the shift of the workload from the public cloud to the on-prem, back to on-prem or back to the non-cloud? There are a few reasons. One, it could be there was no proper initial planning when the organization planned to move to the cloud. Second, it could simply, an organization simply duplicate what they have today and they just move to the cloud. That is not the right move. And that could result in what you think you can save is not. It's going to cost you more. So what happened today, a lot of organizations, enterprises are adopting, when this happened, they're actually adopting hybrid cloud. So more and more of the organization adopting private cloud and having hybrid cloud, meaning private and public put together as a hybrid cloud. So you'll see today between private and public cloud, there are also so much easy to move between the two, because we have today the technology that we call containers, that you can move between cloud or you want to move between private to the public cloud. And why is this today a trend? Because you know the cost will be more if it is just a steady workload. You can put that on the private cloud. And if it is a low latency, you have a massive data that you want to transfer back and forth to the public cloud, it makes more sense to have it on the private cloud. And there's also a question of how complex it is to have a regulatory compliance or security compliance on the cloud. You can still do it on the public cloud, but it is much more less complex if it is on the private cloud. So there are other spheres that I'm not going to touch today, but all these spheres, we can help you. We have our cloud infra here in Malaysia. This is built by TM1. We built this cloud infrastructure here in Malaysia, and we house this cloud infrastructure in our TM Twin Core DC, which is the global standard data center. It's a tier 3 data center. We have it in Cyberjaya. We have it in Johor Bahru. So the latency as well is very, very low at pure 4 milliseconds round trip. So on top of that, it's not just that we have data center and we have the cloud infrastructure. We are also having the ability to give you a peace of mind that we can do private cloud, we can do public cloud, we can do hybrid between the two, and we can do the solution that you need when it comes to cloud-based deployment. To support us in deploying all this cloud infrastructure and the multiple deployment model, we also have the cloud IT professional that we have them today as a certified professional, be it on the VMware, be it on Azure, be it on AWS. And lastly, we also have, and we could help you if you have a specific solution that you look for, that we have in-house solution, and we also have our partners to help you on the specific customized solution that you need. So now, once we have break free from the fears, break free to adopt the cloud, then the vision is today is about the future enterprise. And how to do this, how to vision or how to implement, how to arrive to the future enterprise. Today, every organization or every enterprise, because of the pandemic, because of COVID-19, everyone is basically affected. And the effect on the impact, the degree of impact of every organization can be different. And we know today the highest impact would be to the air and travel, to the aerospace, to the oil and gas, to the banks, and to the lowest impact of the consumer services. And what do we do? All of these enterprises need to think about the future. We need to adapt. So the first thing that we look at today, of course, you will see a lot of the rise of the non-contact connected commerce and services. This will gather pace very rapidly, and this will be supported by AI, the artificial intelligence, the IoT, and in the future there will be 5G to even accelerate this thing even further. So today, enterprise looking at digital transformation, this definitely is the thing today, the buzzword today, digital transformation. It will be accelerated. Enterprises are expected to invest more and more on digital technology. The investment on the IT now is shifting towards the cloud. So where the innovation is. You see, in Malaysia today, what we see, STM1, we receive a lot of requests, we receive a lot of demand. And what are the trends? The trend today, for example, number one, and always be the case today, is the review of digital transformation strategy. And to couple with this review, normally it will come with the migration assessment to the cloud. And thirdly and fourth is about the third one, remote productivity collaboration tool. This is common today. You have meeting, you have discussion is always going to be remote. It's work from home. It's given. It's must have today. The fourth one and the fifth one would be disaster recovery and backup. Organization and enterprise today cannot live without this. We must have the backup. We must have the disaster recovery. You will see today that is the one of the things that is at the top of the mind of the CIO and the CTOs. In terms of innovation, this is already been ongoing, but now it's accelerating. It's the AI, the ML, the machine learning. to develop solution and application. The big data, because there are lots of data to analyze and to interpret, to give a quick decision, real-time decision. The content delivery network. And because of a lot of the things now on the cloud, enterprise are now looking into who can manage the cloud services for them. And lastly, about cybersecurity. This is something that my colleague will talk more about cybersecurity. But when you adopt the cloud, you cannot run away, or you have to protect your data, your application with a very good cybersecurity design and solution. I'm going to give you 3 highlights of all this demand and trend today. The first one is about backup and DR as a service. You see, the frequency of fault could be increasing when it comes to ransomware attack. It comes to damage of data, and we come to component fault. The frequency will be high, but the level of damage could be medium or low. So you need backup solution for this. But when it comes to a disaster, regional disaster, it can be natural disaster, it can be political unrest, it can be terrorism. You need a disaster recovery solution. So these two are very important today for enterprises. So how do we do this? There are many options how you can do backup and DR as a service. You can do multi-hybrid cloud. You can do multi-cloud backup. We can do this for you depending on your choice of design. It can be a backup that you want just a longer RTO, it can be done. Or you want a disaster recovery that is real time, it's very critical. So we will design to you based on the recovery point objective or recovery time objective. Secondly, the data is, today you can get the data from many sources. And you want to make decision today real time. You want to make decision today based on facts and based on good correlation of data from many sources. So to do this, you need to have a very good design architecture of the big data. So to do that, you first need a unified data storage, and then it will be supported by the elastic data computing on the cloud. Together, then you can build your own data lake and your own solution design that you can have a data application and consumption that you can make report, dashboard, real-time decision, and so on. So why today the data analytic, big data solution important? You can still do on-prem, but there's so much more that you can gain on cloud. First, of course, the cost. You don't have the beginning cost of investment or the capex. The security today on cloud is you can design an excellent security that you can protect your data. The professional services, the maintenance of this, there's so many now that people certified for big data on the cloud. And of course today when you're running your big data on cloud, you can support all these big data analysis with AI and machine learning. And lastly, it's about innovations. Today, TM1 have data center, as I mentioned just now, is a global standard data center, the tier 3. We have the infrastructure on the cloud, and now it's about IoT, machine learning, edge, and all these future solution technology that can help you to innovate. So I'm giving the example of today, the digital innovation that can help you, for example, digital government. You can have your digital cloud, the cloud, the government cloud that can have all the cloud services be it on data analytics, education, security, IoT, all this can be on the same cloud. That can, what the people or the employees that need to worry about is just the innovation. All the infrastructure, all the services are available in the platform for all the digital solution development for the employee to do it. So all these things are enabled by TM1 through our data center in Malaysia, our cloud infrastructure in Malaysia, the choice of deployment, you can choose private and public cloud. What you need to do today is just about innovation. Focus on innovation to help the enterprises to sustain whatever challenges that we have today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajab, for that. And that was just a deep dive taking us through how we can eliminate those common misguided concepts, or rather misconceptions, one might have about cloud technology. Some good old-fashioned myth busting there. It seems that adopting the cloud does not have to be that complicated. It's just as easy as shaving your head in the morning. I know not everybody can relate, but if you can, thank you very much. All you need is better understanding of how cloud technology and a trusted partner and service provider can aid your deployment into the world of the cloud. So coming up next, we have another expert from TM1 who will now share with us about data intelligence. This is taking things one step ahead, really, because you're about to find out how you can manipulate your own data. You'll find out the latest updates on www.mydigital.KKMM.my as well, and there are virtual booths with exciting activities awaiting you. So besides listening to our next guest, do follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well. Stay tuned.
The cloud. It's the accelerator to innovate without constraints. The cloud. It's changing the dynamics of businesses in Malaysia. The power of Cloud Alpha. It's game-changing. It's secure. It's industry-compliant. It's ensuring availability. It's increased operational efficiency. It's seamless. It's robust. Working together with the best technology leaders. TM1 Cloud Alpha. Making life and business easier for a better Malaysia.
Thank you for staying with us at MyDIGITAL.KKMM, and thank you for taking that virtual tour of our booths. I'm sure that opened up new possibilities for you now that you have a better understanding of the world of the cloud. Now, previously, Mr. Muhammad Rajab Sulaiman, the Head of Product and Innovation at TM1, explained how easy it is for just about any business to adopt the cloud. However, up next, we're going to take a deeper dive into things. Yes, I've been saying deeper dive a lot, but this is the creme de la creme of cloud services, how data intelligence provides new perspectives of looking at your required capabilities to establish solid foundations in your data landscape. This is a service that provides strong support for business intelligence, artificial intelligence, or other data-driven transformative outcomes, basically helping you understand your own data so you can make better business decisions. Up next, we have Mr. Zaid Wakiuddin, who's the Head of Data Analytics of TM1.
Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum, and very good afternoon to everyone. And I'm very pleased to have this honor to be talking a couple of things about data intelligence. And my name is Zaid. I am leading the TM1 analytics team, and my passion is around data. So reinvigorating your transformation journey with effective data intelligence. For me, this is a brave statement because we put the words data intelligence together with the words transformation journey. I believe that data intelligence is a very important topic. It is up there together when we are talking about business vision, strategic vision, and cultural change. So let us understand further what data is all about, right? Here we want to say that data is the new oil of the digital economy. This represents how big the value that data is. And of course, before oil, we had been talking about how crude oil is actually the black gold. So we are now equating data, oil, and gold in the same equation. Why data is important? Because it gives us more ideas, more options, more opportunities, and if you do things correctly, we would be able to get faster insights, better insights, or even a new kind of insights. For example, if previously we were not able to do dynamic pricing, now with data that we collect, we understand further about customer behavior, and we understand further about external factors, we will be able to leverage all those kind of information to execute dynamic pricing. That's an example. But getting data to value, there's a certain steps beyond it. You have to activate the insight that you generate from data. Activating the insight means putting the insight into production, into work, so that it can translate into a tangible business results. Here we want to offer 3 different ways of activating insights into the business operation for decision making. The first one is probably something that all of us are most familiar with, where we have management dashboards. Okay? We have our data analysts working on the data, extracting insight, and present it in a manner that would address the business problems. Your management or your middle managers will be able to access the dashboard from your applications, and also perhaps in a form of command center. Second way of activating insight is actually integrating the analytical results into your ERP system. That means along the business process, your decision makers at the operational level will be able to access informative insights that would assist them to make a certain kind of decision at transactional level. For example, if you are an officer working on approving loans, or if you are an officer working on approving claims and insurance and such things like that, you will be able to see the application, and also at the same time you have access to all kind of predictive insight that would assist you to give go or no go. And the third one is a fully automated decisioning. This is where we start leveraging analytics capability in the form of AI, where we fully automate the process without human intervention. For example, in the domain of field services, you might want to automatically route the job orders to the best person that can service the work, okay? And this could be depending on where the person is, what is the best route for him or her to address it on site, and whether the skill set is matched. And all these things can happen without supervisor reviewing or approving. Of course, in the field of fully automated decisioning by AI, you might want to review the performance from time to time, perhaps every month or every quarterly. And if you do all this thing correctly, and if it is aligned to the business vision, we can expect that it all translates into tangible value creation. This means you might expect to have a better revenue, new revenue stream, or better cost management, or improved customer experience. So just to recap very quickly, we were talking about data, getting it to insight, and insights must be activated so that it gets translated to tangible value creation. Now we go a little bit into the process of the whole thing that I just mentioned. From data on the left side, you see that we have different kinds of data sources in an organization. We have data from relational databases, we have data in the form of flat files, perhaps some semi-structured data in logs, and you do have sensors collecting measurements along your business process, and also, of course, social media, where people were talking about your businesses and you want to assess your reputation from public perception. And another thing we put there is the external data. Sometimes the data in your organization is not enough for you to address the market. You might want to buy and purchase or subscribe to external data sources. So the next process, once we identify all these data sources, we have to get it into a centralized place to manage. We look into data collection and ingestion, where you can start collecting data, whether it's batch data or streaming data. There are certain advances in recent analytics thinking that data does not have to be really moved from one storage to another. You can actually only logically move the data so that you can centrally manage. But what we are talking here is having a full view of your data, put it together so that you can start doing the next step, which is data transformation. Data transformation is where you start doing data cleaning, data conversion, and all kinds of things that could be a bit more technical or very data specific, so that the data is well prepared for further analytical processing and analytical modeling. Because normally data scientists who performs analytics and modeling, they are expensive people. We don't want them to work on the data at the very technical or at the very menial level. After we have done the analytics and modeling by, let's say, for the data scientist or the business analyst, there must be a way, like we mentioned before, to activate the insight. Here, in this case, we give an example of the first deployment, which is putting it into a visualization or a BI platform so that your decision makers can view the data, ingest the data personally and easily, because visualization gives us an easy way to interpret and understand the data. And also, the BI capabilities might give you tools to interact with the data, whether you want to drill down, you want to slice and dice a different way, or you want to compare two different data sources during the query time. So this gives the capability for the decision maker to leverage the data that had undergone through the process of transformation and analytics. And of course, all this data, all these kind of activities require some sort of data processing and data storage. Recent advancement in distributed storage and distributed processing have given us a lot of capability to execute this process, even for the very challenging data, or what we normally call big data issues, the 4 Vs. I will explain further on the 4 Vs later. Despite the seemingly simple process from data to collection to transformation, analytics, modeling, and visualization, the fact remains that failure rate for big data projects and data science projects are very high. An estimate from Gartner, it says that 60 to 85% of big data projects fail. An official statement from Gartner, it says 60%, but then another researcher from Gartner, they said, well, it's actually 85%. So this is very, very big numbers for such a big project to be failing. If we estimate that market size for analytics is around 2 billion for Malaysia, this translates to more than 1 billion go down the drain, and not even counting the opportunity cost. From another statistic, we have a number from VentureBeat AI. They say that 87% of data science projects never makes it to production. It remains perpetual in the exploration stage and never gets to production, and thus never translates to business value. So why do big data projects fail? There are many ways to be looking at this. We always say that transformative initiatives fail because perhaps executive sponsorship is not there or communication issues. But here I want to be a bit more specific to big data problems. And number one is what I want to highlight the most, which is the misalignment of technical realities and the business assumptions. So sometimes business would think that, okay, we just acquire tools, we just hire a team of data scientists, and they expect for all things to fall in place. But the technical realities goes a little bit deeper than that. So why data intelligence, right? If you see all the bubbles down there, there have been a lot of buzzwords around analytics and data in general. We have decision support system back in the 1950s, followed by executive information system, and then statistical analysis, data mining, and more recent ones are data analytics, data science, machine learning, deep learning, and all that. So why are we looking at data intelligence to be addressing this issue where big data projects keep on failing? First of all, let us go through the definition of data intelligence. It is about knowing as much as possible about your data, where it is, where it comes from, and how to extract value of it. So it is not so much about the business side, how to put it, how to solve a business issue. This is a little bit earlier steps where we want to understand our data first. We want to know everything about it. And the second definition refers to the analytical tools and method that we can utilize to achieve this. So here we want to propose that data intelligence, if we do it correctly, it can be a foundation for business intelligence and artificial intelligence. So if we do it correctly, what does the success look like? First of all, we would have comprehensive understanding of all data that we have. Second, we know how to discover, or we know how to extract value from all available data, including dark data. That means those data that we previously would not be able to access or to process. For example, let's say from data intelligence, we have discovered that we do not have enough data. So what do we do next? Like I mentioned before, we can start acquiring, we can start putting sensors along our business process so that we start getting the measurements, and then we can start acting and improving on it. Or perhaps we assess our data and we find out that we do indeed have big data problems, like 4 V's: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. So what do we do if we indeed have big data issues? That's where we start looking into the right tools, such as distributed processing, cloud processing. We look into distributed storage and also have the right set of big data professionals in our team. And thirdly, if we perform data intelligence, we identify that we have bad data issues, which is much more common for enterprises, then we would start to put control into the process of our data movement and our data processing. We want to put control and measurements around data quality. We want to start putting data auditing. We want to start putting measurement along the process so that we can monitor when things go wrong, and we have indicator when data is not meeting what we put as a standard. Third, if we do data intelligence correctly, we would start having high trust to start making critical decisions. For example, do we trust our data enough to make decisions such as strategic partnership, acquisition, or even launching new products? So if we have enough trust in our data, we can make those decisions more comfortably. The fourth thing, if we do data intelligence correctly, we would be able to empower business users to self-serve their analytical needs. Now has gone the era where business users engage the IT team, giving requirements and back and forth, trying to identify the right way to process data. The current way of doing things for us to scale effectively to fulfill the transformation objectives is to give empowerment to the business users. To give empowerment, you have to first understand the data so that you give the right tools for them. Do they need data exploration tool? Do they need a data lab so that they can perform experimentation? Do they need data synthesizer so that they can create all kinds of simulation and some sort of system dynamic process? And the last one, if we understand the data better, we can start putting good control, effective control and administration for security, compliance, and governance. We do not want that our data analytics initiative is being abused for personal gain or for fraudulent activities. Well, with all this kind of preparation, we will have data intelligence becoming a solid foundation for business intelligence and artificial intelligence initiative. This means that we can use our data to perform all sorts of analytical processing, such as descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive, prescriptive, and even cognitive. We can start answering what, when, why, how, what's next, all those kind of questions regarding our business using our data. Here, we want to go a little bit deeper because one of the challenges that we mentioned just now about big data failure was about misalignment between business expectation and the technical realities. Here, we are putting all this we are putting this diagram to fully represent, perhaps not truly exhaustive, but we want to put as much as possible about all kinds of environment, all kinds of tools, process, and architecture that needs to be there for a successful data program. Here, we represent the ones that represent the data minder is the one closest to relate to the data intelligence, where we have data governance, we have data synthesizer, data labeling tool, data quality. We we are able to perform all kinds of visualization to understand the data better. All these kind of things represent the foundation for the model maker, for the inference activator, and it supports the analytic life cycles on the left side. This means our data workers, data scientists, data engineers will have a good experience in working with data, and they truly believe in the results of their analysis. Of course, at the end, we want this data to support decision-making at strategic, tactical, and operational level. So perhaps we can ask ourselves whether our organization do have these kind of capabilities to really execute data intelligence and subsequently business intelligence and AI. From TM1 perspective, because myself looking into productization and also operation of analytics, this is where I would like to explain a bit on how we are addressing all the challenges around data. First of all, we understand that we need platform because data is getting more complex and require a high amount of processing. So we look into cloud as a supporting architecture, providing platforms such as data warehouse and BI, OLAP, data management, big data analytics for distributed processing, and self-service analytics that we mentioned just now, so that the business users can self-serve their need, and also AI engine that can be tailored, that can be reused for different kind of business case. Of course, we also look into on-prem setup with our twin core data centers, because there are certain things that we do not want to put into cloud, or the data is simply too huge to be constantly transferring to cloud environment. Also, we have analytics consulting because we want to be able to establish a data program that addresses business needs and also provide the capability to execute through data intelligence. Use case discovery process is where we perform workshop, perform all kinds of engagement with the business users, and establish our prioritization around the business case. What we talk about data intelligence, we can see here that we have data discovery service, we have enterprise data governance, data monetization strategy, and also data exploration and profiling under data analytics services. All of this must be in place. We look into it as a modularity. Perhaps we can tailor it to the specific scenario of the data issue in an organization. But what we see here is that these are the important services, important activities to be done so you can have a successful data intelligence program. And on the right side, we are seeing some number of roles around analytic consultant, solution architect, solution integrator. So these are the roles that need to be in place to execute data intelligence. So we are coming towards the end. If I want to summarize all the things that we just mentioned just now, we want to say that data intelligence is a must-have capability. What it means is that you need to know what data you have. You need to know everything about the data. You need to know where to get it, what kind of processing to perform on them, and how to extract value from it. We believe that whatever your transformation journey or transformation outcome and goal is, whether you want to be AI-driven enterprise, data-driven enterprise, or you want to be algorithmic enterprise, autonomous enterprise, all that kind of things, you need to have a good control of your data. This will provide a solid foundation for you to execute your business analytics, business intelligence, and AI initiatives subsequently. With that, I thank you to everyone. And do contact us if you have more things to understand or to know about analytics. We are always keen to share, whether about ideas or even horror stories. Right?
Thank you, Zayed, for shedding some perspectives and really emphasizing the importance of data intelligence in any business transformation journey. It also opens up new capabilities for decision-making at all levels, most importantly, on how you can help drive your business forward despite any challenges that might come your way. So I know that's a lot of mumbo-jumbo coming from me, but once you go back and listen to Zayed, you'll get a better understanding of how you can navigate your own data to make better decisions. Now, in the final segment, we'll be taking a look again at our journey through the cloud in perspective. Joining me again, we have Ms. Shazurawati Abdul Karim, the EVP of TM1, who will conclude our discussion today. We'll find out more about what she has to say in just a bit, but do check out the latest updates we have for you at MyDIGITAL.KKMM.my. There's so many exciting virtual booths and activities awaiting you, so do check us out. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We'll be back with that nice little Peruvial ribbon tied around our gift for you today, the gift of discussing the cloud, in just a bit.
Cyber attacks. It is a complex crime by invisible enemies. It destroys your brand's reputation, causes massive financial losses, and ultimately creates distrust in a company's digital infrastructure. To prevent this, cyber resilience and active cyber defense is essential to predict, prevent, detect, and respond to cyber threats. The question is, will your organization be prepared to handle such cyber threats effectively? And if it is it protected by global standard compliance and recognized regulatory requirements? What we need is digital trust. Trust. It's what we build our Cyber Defense Center around. It's confidentiality. It's integrity. It's availability. Integrity. It's centered in our global seesaw. It's giving you peace of mind. And it meets all your cybersecurity needs. As the region's trusted managed security services provider, we protect your organization by conducting end-to-end managed solutions, from cyber risk assessment to cyber risk mitigation, and the power to control it all. So focus on what you do best. Build your business. Transform your organization. And trust us to keep it secure from cyber attacks. TM1 Cyber, the digital trust for cyber resilience.
Welcome back to MyDIGITAL.KKMM, the technology edition. Besides technology, MyDIGITAL.KKMM also covers other categories, including tourism, entrepreneurship, entertainment, the creative industry, sports, lifestyle, and health. The goal here is to promote all initiatives and programs from various ministries and agencies so it can reach the wider audience. Now, apart from this live streaming session, which I know you're enjoying, MyDIGITAL.KKM also offers booths and programs virtually. All you need to do is to check us out. www.mydigital.kkmm.my is where to go. And for the last segment, we have in this discussion a conclusion to our topic for today. I'd like to welcome back Shaz, who is the EVP of TM1. Thank you for being here, Shaz.
Thank you.
And it's time to put that little ribbon around the gift and wrap it up real nicely. So here's the plug. Why is TM1 the right partner in supporting the business transformation journey?
Thanks, Terence. No transformation is easy. Really, all transformation requires commitments from all parts of the organization, right? And transformation, digital or not, requires a lot of change. People, process, technology, and we cannot underestimate what it takes to do change management, right? So TM1 can be this one-stop center for any enterprise or organization to do the transformation, right? We help to what we call demystify technology for them.
Oh yes,
yeah?
Much needed things there.
Yeah, so we provide scalable, trusted, state-of-the-art infrastructure. So you can sleep at night and be restful that you're going to be fine with your transformation. We provide the organizations with the enterprise intelligence in the cloud. So we like to call ourselves a people-centered technology company, right? So we practice agile, we bring that design thinking process. So we walk through with you when it comes to business process workflows, insights, and automation. With all the data that you have. And we have end-to-end world-class ecosystems. We make the heavy lifting of investment. So again, you pay for what you need as well. Right. And really, we invested a lot in human capital too. We reskill, we hire, we upskill our people, our vendors, and also, we work with a like mind who knows how to do this, or who've done this many times in other parts of the country or the world. We've got many use cases. You can obviously visit our website, tm1.com.my, where you will see there are many industries or areas that could help organizations to shift the way they're doing things to something different that would be a lot easier, more efficient. And again, it's stuff that, user, the true north, again, is always customers and users, right? So we always want to pivot to how the enterprise is going to be better for their customers.
Shaz, in closing, perhaps you could speak plainly to someone watching who's part of a brick and mortar business and been a part of a brick and mortar business for many generations, kepada yang turun-temurun menjalankan perniagaan yang sama, dan pada pandangan mereka mungkin tak perlu saya berhijrah secara digital, saya boleh sahaja jalankan perniagaan saya.
I think sebenarnya kalau kita baca banyak research there are multiple research that I read. Walaupun kita ada kedai, 50% atau lebih pelanggan datang ke kedai sebenarnya datang ke kedai sebab dia dah tengok advertisement or something about kedai from online ataupun digital. Now that's digital, so dia bukan datang saya saja jumpa kedai, tidak kan? Jadi nak zaman pandemic ni, we see everybody memang really shift their mindset completely. Everybody who used to think twice, yang rasa macam boleh tunggu, tak apalah tunggu. Semua orang change strategy, accelerate to adopt digital faster. And those who adopt and adapt, clearly the one that flourish and find new customer base. Right, somebody that they never thought they would be engaging before is somebody who are they working with right now. Jadi digital transformation is extremely important for any organization. We do need to embrace it. It's scary. It's scary, but I think the upside to it is beyond sometimes what we think it might be.
Well, the beauty of this broadcast is you can go back and watch it time again and understand some of the concepts that have been demystified in plain language for you by Shaz and our other experts from TM1. So on that note, thank you very much, Shaz, for being here. And for those of you who want to check out more information on TM1's various services, you can check them out plainly on their social media platforms. Various abbreviations of TM1. The website is www.tm1.com.my. That's one word. On LinkedIn, TM-1. Twitter, TM_1. Facebook, tm1.com.my. And YouTube, just type TM1 in caps and you'll find them. We would like to also thank you for watching, and we've come to the end of this episode. Once again, thank you very much, Puan Shaz, for being here and speaking to us very plainly. A very insightful discussion we've had on how TM1 drives business transformation. And thank you for staying with us throughout the entire hour. I know, the technology edition means a lot of information, but you can check us out time and time again, as I mentioned. Take that deep dive into the cloud again and again at www.MyDIGITAL.KKMM. We cover other categories, including tourism, entrepreneurship, entertainment, creative industry, sports, lifestyle, and health. And the goal here is to promote all initiatives, services, and programs by various ministries and agencies that are made for you, my fellow Malaysians. There are also virtual booths and programs for you to check out, so please do enjoy the virtual services and, of course, promotions that are made available to you. Once again, MyDIGITAL.KKMM.my. MyDIGITAL.KKMM, driving the digital aspiration for the nation. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.